Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm bringing the first episode of Vampiric Tales. I'll just create a character while I talk you through about some stuff. The mods I'm using are, the mods I'm using in this series are Alternative Start, Sacrosanct Vampiric Overhaul, and Volkihar Knight Armor. I'm sure there are a couple of other mods that I just can't think about on the top of my head, but yeah, those are the main mods I use. And the fun part about it is that vanilla Skyrim vampires, at least when you have the DLC, are decently good. They're of course stronger than the normal human, but when you have Sacrosanct, it just blows that up and turns it up to maximum. It's insane. The Vampire Lord in vanilla Skyrim, no mods, only has like 12 perks, if I remember correctly, because it's been such a long time since I last played vanilla. But yeah, I'm never gonna go back to vanilla Skyrim, not after seeing what mods can do to the game. And it yeah, I have to say, doing this series has to be one of my favorite things to do. Playing a vampire always is fun to me, especially on that morally gray area. And now that I watch this back and do my voiceover, I see myself changing the eye color, which makes no sense, because when you become a vampire, no matter what you have your eye settings on, if you have one eye that's like blind and shit, it just turns that one orange as well. So in my own little headcanon, I see the vampire disease not as a curse, but as something that just heals all your ailments as soon as you become one. And that was just funny for me to see, like, oh wait, shit, I did that. This is the alternate start mod, and yeah, this one is not part of that. Which mod was that? I can't think of it anymore. I'll probably recall it sometime later, but not yet. Yeah. I don't know what this one is. Maybe something to do with role-playing. I have a lot of mods for that. And this one is part of that. It just makes playing, or rather replaying Skyrim 10 times better. Because you can pick the backstory of your character.
Which guild are you a new recruit for?
And I like to think, whenever I pick, I'm a new member in Lord Harkon's court, which, by the way, Lord Harkon is from the Dawnguard DLC, which turns you into a vampire if you choose that path. And he gives you the Vampire Lord form, which basically turns you from being a normal vampire to royalty in the lore. But yeah, Lord Harkon later says that as well. But just those little things are funny to me. Um. Anyway, alternate start mod lets you pick the background story of your character and how you start. You just basically, instead of just waking up in a fucking wagon going to Helgen to be executed, you just pick another alternate start, as it says. And yeah, Skyrim in itself can be fun to replay and replay and replay, but having the same start every time gets really repetitive. That's why I'm using this mod, because I can pick my own start.
Now listen to my words and do as I instruct. The true power of the ancient blood is found in the form of the Vampire Lord. Assume the mantle of the Vampire Lord.
Anyway, this is Lord Harkon. He just said to me, transform into the Vampire Lord and we can start your training. Yada yada yada. Here's your first glimpse at the Vampire Lord form. It's decently powerful in vanilla. But it was nothing to write home about. And that's why certain mods exist to make it better. Like Sacrosanct, and the basic premise of the Vampire Lord form is you turn into this massive bat-like beast with magic in both hands and night powers to control. Now I'm in melee mode, which doesn't make sense when you have magicka, but the deal with that is, in vanilla you could infinitely stay in magic mode and not give a crap about anything, because your magic just would it would just regenerate the whole time. But what Sacrosanct does to the Vampire Lord form, aside from giving it way more perks, it gave you an incentive to use up all your magicka, go into melee mode, because if you stay in magicka mode, your magic will not regenerate. It just won't do that. That would be way too strong, and to balance that out with the shit ton of perks you have now, you need to go into melee mode. And certain perks will make melee mode stronger, like adding poison to your claws. But yeah. And this is the favorite menu, which in Vampire Lord form gives you access to a multitude of powers, like the night powers, certain magics, and of course revert form, because it would be a silly thing if you transform and have no way of turning back. The werewolf form has that too, but that's used by a mod called Moonlight Tales, which arguably sounds better than Tales of Lycanthropy, which I was gonna name my series about the werewolf, but Moonlight Tales sounds better, in my opinion. Might use that, but anyway, let's focus on this series first. Here Lord Harkon just gives me the first quest in the DLC, which I'm not gonna do in this series. I might do that, but not record it, just as a leveling thing. Then I'll just transform back and the other mod I'm using is the armor you're seeing now, it's called the Volkihar Knight armor, and it's way better than the Royal Vampire armor set that I was just wearing. This is a heavy armor set. Well, I'm in Vampire Lord form now, of course, but yeah. Anyway, see this as a full demonstration of the Vampire Lord form, at least in its early stages. My right hand holds blood magic, which drains the life of my enemies in true vampire fashion. My left hand holds a reanimate spell, which, you guessed it, turns my dead foes into my minions. I have a sick fascination with vampires. Yeah. And as you can see, my magic just doesn't go up. And the more I use magic... Here. Now my magic starts regenerating, and I see this one dude up top. My animated minion just walked in, and running in the Vampire Lord form grants you some funny animations. Like you sort of fly, but also don't. It's more like gliding. And yeah, he's dead. This location, this fort of High Elves is a location you go to on a side quest, which I never actually done. Whatever. Let's slaughter the whole fort. Just for entertainment's sake, eh? And yeah, shield spells can somewhat stop the spell that the Vampiric Drain spell, which it's not Vampiric Drain, it's called Raise in the Vampire Lord form. Vanilla Vampire Lord form has the same spell you get as a normal vampire. It's just basic Vampiric Drain. It's a spell that you hold down and it drains the life out of your enemies slowly. It's not a great spell. It does its job, but not very good. I like this version of the spell more, since it's a wide arc horizontally, which just smashes into your opponent. Sacrosanct also adds a multitude of spells in mortal form called blood spells, or hemomancy. Basically blood magic. You use blood to harm your enemy. It's fun. Bloody mages. Here I just let's take a bit and started wailing on the dude. I don't know how well you can see that, because this game is fairly dark, at least inside of caves, and certain forts tend to also be pretty dark with their lighting. So if it's too dark, tell me in the comments, please, because I'll just put my lighting settings up, and it should sort itself out. But Yeah. This is just gonna be a basic introduction to the vampire lore form and its background story. Vampires in the Elder Scrolls lore came from Molech Ball, Daedric Prince of race domination and brutality. Yeah. Not a fun dude. he gives some nasty powers, but not a fun dude. There's one side quest in the base game that has you enter an abandoned house with a Vigilant of Stendar, which are basically vampire... no, not vampire hunters, monster hunters. They're doing a poor job. They basically hunt monsters. And you kill that one. Molech Ball then sends you to retrieve a priest that has desecrated his altar. And then you slaughter that priest too. And then you get his mate. But yeah, he's decent and powerful. This video is almost over, but yeah, I'll I think I've slaughtered everyone in this fort. Let me just get the key, which you also can't do in vanilla Skyrim. Yeah. But yeah. Lord Harkon, by the way. The dude who gives you the vampire lord form and turns you into a better vampire. He sacrificed everything to Molech Ball for this power. And here I'm just turning turning these prisoners, these poor souls, into my food source. Yeah. Still, Volkihar Knight Armor, best armor in the game, in my opinion. Well, best modded armor in the game, because I later turned to putting some enchantments on it and stuff.